Welcome back to RASSVET for episode 20 with me, Mr. Sealy P. It's not far off 20 past 3 in the afternoon, and as you've seen, field 6 has now been harvested and the corn has been taken, and we're using the silo. We're finally using it. I've decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to whiz over to the construction site. The rest of that sand in that pile, I don't think there's a huge amount there, but I'm going to sell the rest of that while the price is good, because I need to bring the conveyor belt over to the bunker silo, silage clamp, so that tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow, if the silage in there is fermented, we can start getting that out of the bunker and transport it over to the biogas plant, ready for payment. That's the plan. And then we'll do some prep on fields 6 and 7. So I'm going to do a bit of that off camera. I'll probably see you, I know it's only 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I could get a load more work done, but I do need to get that sand sorted while the price is still pretty good. So I'll probably see you now tomorrow, I would think. It's 8:01. We have good news and bad news. Firstly, money's gone up. You noticed in the last clip it had gone right down again. That's because I'd paid for I'd gone for 2 Ursus tractors. I did say I was also going to read out the email from Feldcorp, so hopefully that will pop up on the screen. It says, I hope you're doing well over there in RASSVET. Things are progressing well here in Lubelska Dolina. As mentioned before, I've been in touch with the people at Ursus as their headquarters is in my region. Sadly, they weren't able to help me directly, but have connected me with a local dealership that may be able to assist me with some things. However, they are very keen to expand their presence into Ukraine, given their proximity to the border, and were quite interested in connecting with you regarding a business opportunity for you both. As part of cooperation with the Turkish manufacturer behind ArmorTrack, which we talked about in the last episode, They produce the Ursus C3120 and C3130 comfort tractors, which are similar to the Armotrac 1104. With that in mind, they have a demo model of the C130 comfort already in Ukraine at an Armotrac dealership, which they need to either sell or have shipped back to Poland. In order to save them hassle and shipping costs, they're willing to sell it to me for a discounted price if I'm willing to collect it. They're asking 65 grand, which is a steal. It's a well-spec tractor with very low mileage. Included as a picture for reference. I'll send you the full spec and contact info shortly. Now, we have had a subsequent conversation regarding that, about getting a 1934 as well. In doing that deal, the tractor you just saw in the picture is no longer available, but they do have another one available, which we're going to collect now. That's the good news. All the sand is gone. Building number 3 is up. Building number 4 is underway. We're doing good. We're doing good in the world, people. So we're going to head up. They've got a kind of a makeshift dealership, Ursus. Well, that's the thing. It's interesting. I phoned them this morning. They said, come on up. The tractors have been delivered by train right here to RASSVET. They didn't have any Armotrac signage, so they've gone with Ursus. And they're very proud of their Ursus tractors. So much so, they've got their Polish flag up, look. Unfortunately, there's no Ukrainian flag available. I did look. So, here are our 2 new tractors, which is going to really help out. On top of the 3 we've got already. Yeah, we've got the Universal. We've got the big one. I never get the designation on that one right. And we've got the small Ursus. We've now got a 1954, which I think is 190 horsepower. I think it's 190 horsepower. And then we've got this one, which is spec'd with twins. The great thing with that is that comes with front 3-point link 2. That one's got front loader attacher, twins, and I think it's 125. Yeah, we paid a little bit more. They were going to ship it at 115, but we've had it spec'd up. Bit of tuning. That's mint, that. I did like the Armotrac. What did I use it on? From my first modded map, was it? On FS19 was Marwell Manor. And I'm pretty sure I went from Felsbrunn, didn't I? Yeah, with the baked bean. And we had a little Armotrac, and I loved it. So, all good. This is the good news. I'm going to grab one of these. The other thing I've also done is bought a second fertiliser / lime spreader. Same design as the one we've got already. I think it's a different colour, because what I'm intending to do now is re-prep the fields. So what I can do is have one liming, so that can be full of lime, and then I'll have the other one with fertiliser in. Now we've got more tractors, we can have multiple vehicles running at the same time. Again, we're employing more local people, whether they be farmers, farm labourers, people that have never done farming before but want to get into it. That's what we're going to be doing. I like this. Details of all vehicles and mods used are in the description. They're not links, there's no links on console. They're all Mods Hub mods, everything's from the Mods Hub. So we're going to go and grab that. I don't know if we'll get onto seeding. Right, which brings us on to the bad news. The bad news is I had a second telephone conversation this morning which woke me up about 6 AM, and yeah, it wasn't good. Oh, I'm going to go on to rant about that in a minute, about the 6 AM thing, not about the phone call, from the British consulate / embassy liaison type person, very much along the lines of, have you ever seen the film Hot Fuzz? Brilliant film. Right at the very start, where they send Sergeant Angel to Sanford, and it's that conversation. Quite frankly, you're making us look bad, and that's the gist of it. What I've been doing in helping with infrastructure, with building the grain silo, buying new tractors, building the farm up, getting all this new gear, making a bit of money, crop rotations and getting new crops done, I'm making the British government and to some degree the Ukraine government look bad. Now, the wheels of government turn slowly. That's how it works. Unfortunately, you know, that's the way governments operate, and often private enterprise and just not, I wouldn't say entrepreneurs. I don't like that word, but that's just me personally. I know you can be an entrepreneur and entrepreneurial, but I think people power is the important thing, isn't it? It's getting up and getting things done, and often individuals can get more done. I've just realised what I've done. I've gone past the where we could top up. Oh no, so I'm going to get lime from, we've got that lime pile. I nearly did it again. I nearly bought lime when I've got that massive pile of free lime. So, the gist of it being, I'm making them look bad. We've done a load, and we have done a load. And have I been happy with doing precision farming? I'll be honest, I have. Have I gone right down the route of digging into all the data and all the analysis? No, I haven't. What I do like about it, massively, it reduces the amount of mucking around on the fields, having to do multiple layers, you know. The great thing is knowing that ploughing will make a difference, liming, pH will make a difference, nitrogen, fertilisation will make a difference. I love the fact that we're doing precision farming because we've got that auto application rate thing. You can get perfect nitrogen level and pH level in one pass. It will put down absolute loads. Now you can do it in multiple passes, and you can set it yourself and do smaller amounts. And if you've got slurry or digestate, which is technically free from your animals or a byproduct from the biogas plant, then you can use even less fertilizer. But I'm using less anyway, and that's great. I love the fact that with the auto application rate system in place, you've got the row control, like the shut-off system, so that you can leave it running, and when you go over a bit that's been done before, it automatically turns off. That you don't get in the base game, and I don't know why. If it can be done with precision farming, why is that not in the base game? I know it does it with seeders, but it doesn't do it with fertilizer spreaders and sprayers, and that's always been a bit of a frustration moment, but it does on this. So I didn't really do a lot with precision farming when it first came out, but I'll be honest, I like it as an idea, as a concept. It works well, and I like that. I'm doing it again, going the wrong way. Where's the line? It's over here. So yeah, I'll probably get the smaller Ursus over to actually run this. I don't need a big tractor to be running this, but I'm going to lime field 7. Sorry, so anyway, sidetracked again, but so the conversation ended like this. I have until midnight. My visa has been revoked. I have to leave. Have I done everything I wanted to do? Pretty much, actually. Considering I was only coming on to do soil sampling initially and have a bit of a play around with precision farming and help with a bit of infrastructure, and you know, I've done stuff I wanted to do. Could I have done more? Yeah, probably. Could I have bought more fields? Yeah, probably. We've got the sheep farm, which is up and running, and they're producing really well. Actually, that's a good point. I need to go over and check on the sheep. I checked them last night before I went to bed, made sure they were bedded down, fed, watered, but we need to check this morning to make sure everything's okay. So yeah, I have got until midnight to sort out my affairs and be ready to leave the country, is in essence where I'm at. So we're against the clock. We're against the clock because the bunker silo, silage clamp, is ready for emptying. We've got over 1 million litres of silage in there. Now, bearing in mind we've got to be gone by midnight, at midnight we'll get paid out for that. So, I am a little bit against the clock on this. What am I taking with me? Shirt on my back. I'm taking the Land Rover. It took ages to get it here. That's coming with. But I think what I'm going to do, I'm in an iron about, I might take the wheel loader, you know. Just thinking, could I get a trailer that I can pull on the back of the Land Rover and stick this wheel loader on? Mind you, I suppose I can get wheel loaders anywhere, can't I? I've also had a conversation with Farm Club, because this is how I want to leave it. I want to leave it that everything that I've done here by having this plot here, building up the farm, building the silo, putting the new sheds in, getting the harvesters, more tractors. Another reason why I went for 2 tractors and not just one new Ursus is that I want all of that to be here for the locals. I want to leave it as a cooperative, you know, like the old school cooperatives, but a better version of, in that all the equipment, all the machinery, all the stuff will be here for the local farmers to use, to access whenever they want to use it, whenever they need to use it, it's here. What I didn't want happening was me to leave, which creates a vacuum, and then Farm Club go, brilliant, let's get in there and flog all that gear he's left behind, because that's just not fair. I mean, that's not to say they won't do it once I've gone, but they have been very good. They have agreed that they won't. They have said, you know, I brought a lot of business their way, sort of. We've shifted a load of sand, we've done a load of stuff. And I'm kind of, yeah, happy and sad at the same time, I guess, I don't know. But I think, if they want me to go, I'm going to go. It's time to move. It's time to move on. I really haven't got a lot of choice. So midnight is my deadline. I'm going to go and grab the rest of the gear. I'm going to get the liming done on field 7. Then I'm going to get... Oh yeah, I did the ploughing on that. I meant to say, the ploughing got done yesterday as well. So both fields, 6 and 7, have been ploughed. And what I'm going to do is prep them. Actually, I might get some seeding done. I can at least get the seeder going. I'm going to line field 7. Field 6 doesn't need it, I don't think. Let's go across to here. Oh, actually, I'll check them both. I'll put my field info on. I'll check them both. If they both need liming, I'll lime them both just to be on the safe side. pH levels, nitrogen levels actually aren't too bad on here. After the corn crop, you think how dark that's looking in some areas. That isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, so it's not going to take as much nitrogen as I think. But obviously we need to get a crop in the ground before we can then put nitrogen down. And then there's the small matter of moving over 1 million litres of silage to the biogas plant before midnight. So, I have got work to do. I'm going to get down and get the liming done first. In one of our new Ursuses. Are they Ursuses? Ursai? Is it? Is it like Alan Partridge? If you've got Lexus, is it Lexi for blue? Ursai. No, I don't know. Anyway. So, we have multiple. We have 3 Ursai now. And we have upgraded, which is great. Something that I was quite surprised about, and this is completely unrelated, is when I was at Agritechnica and we were looking around all the tractor manufacturers, and one of the things that had been mentioned a while back, I think when FS19 came out and we got John Deere, a lot of people were hoping for, and for FS22 maybe still hoping for, Kubota, because I thought that, you know, that'd be quite cool getting Kubota on board. And there was a lot of to and fro, and people saying the trouble is with Kubota, they only make small tractors. I think I might have mentioned this before. When we were at Agritechnica and we went to the Kubota kind of stall area, don't be fooled, they do some big stuff. They had a full range of tractors going up to like 300, 400 horsepower tractors. Plus they had every type of machinery you could imagine as accessories and stuff. It was all there. So I need to make sure I've got this on auto application. I have. Turn that off. Let's get liming. Let's check down here. Again, if you're not sure, I am. Yeah, it's fairly dark on here. We'd probably do all right. It is changing it. It is making a difference, so we will do both fields, I think, with lime. I've lost my thread. What was I saying? Oh, it doesn't matter. I was doing what I used to, just chatting. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say about that rant earlier. Not related to what I was just talking about, but when I said about I got a phone call at 6 AM, is it just me? I don't know if it's just the youths. I don't know whether it's youngsters or just lots of people. I've had a lot of people. One of my daughters said the other day something about. I said, well, what shift you working next week? And she said, oh, I'm on an early on whatever day, then a late, and then I'm on a close on whatever day. And I said, oh, what time you got to be up? And she said, 6 a.m. in the morning. I was like, what? He said, 6 a.m. in the morning. I said, okay, 6 a.m. or 6 in the morning. The a.m. says morning. Do you need to say 6 a.m. in the morning? Do you have to say both? I've never said both. Is that a thing? 6 p.m., 6 a.m. You don't say 6 p.m. at night, because p.m. is, I mean, do you? I don't know. I just thought, oh dear me, it's that youngsters making absolutely 100% sure you'll know what time it is. It's just not something I've come across before. I don't know. Let's say, is it a thing? Maybe. So, as you can imagine, what I need to do now is get to a point where we can get worker going on line, a worker going on line on here. Get a worker going for the lime on here. It's not putting down a huge amount, but if you look bottom left, it is making a difference. Oh yeah, I was going to say about my side panel. That's where I was going. I know people still ask how do I bounce in and out of the menus without going through the main menu. Sometimes, depending on what I'm doing, I will do things like that during editing. So I will cut chunks out and it will look like I've bounced in and out. But I've got my Logitech heavy equipment side panel plugged into my PlayStation. It worked on my PlayStation 4 and my PlayStation 4 Pro. Now I'm on PS5. It works perfectly well on my PS5 as well. So that's how I do it. That's how I bounce in and out of the menus. I did have someone ask me again the other day. So yeah, that's how I'm doing it. I've got my side panel plugged in. Yeah, the actual application rate's not too bad. What I'll do, because we're up to the straight, I'll get the worker going. Then we'll whiz all the way back up. We'll get the other Ursus. And what I can do straight away, I think what I'll do is I'll swap them over. I'll get the seeder, and we can get this seeding. And then once the liming's finished on here, we'll move the liming over there, get seeding done on here, and fertilising done. At least we can get a crop in the ground. We can help out as much as we can before we have to leave. If I can get that going. And then also, well, let's get a worker on. And then we'll get the silage shifted. And we'll try and get as much of that done, if not all of it, by midnight. Because if I can get paid out for that at midnight, that's a big old chunk of money. Next question is going to be, am I taking any of the money with me? I will, yes. I don't always, but I am. I'm not taking all of it. I'm going to leave some of it for the cooperative. So there will be like a, not a trust fund kind of thing, maybe. We paid off the loan we owed, so anything we're making is money in our pocket. And the next question that may be asked, people may wonder, am I going on from here? Am I going back to 6 Ashes? I'm not. Am I continuing with a narrative storyline? The answer to that is no. The initial part, kind of, in that because I'm taking my Land Rover, that's going to go everywhere with me. Like when I moved over from FS17 to FS19, and I brought my lovely little New Holland with me, and that kind of went everywhere. My Blue Power. The Land Rover is probably going to go all over the place with me now, as does Jeremy. So, yeah, probably. But where we're moving to is going to be a bit of a test. So initially, yes, when we arrive where we are, we'll have our Land Rover, but that's as far as the storyline goes. The next one we're going to is not going to be narrative driven. It's not going to be story based. It's going to be for me. I'm going to play the game. I'm going to kind of go back to, like I did on Stone Valley, a little bit of, you know what, I'm doing it because I want to. I will buy the stuff I want to, when I want to. I will make whatever money I make, however I want to. I'm just going to play. But the test is going to be, because the map I'm going to, and I would imagine most people probably, oh, I don't know actually, there's a couple I think people might think I might go to. I have had some comments and reports from people saying that there may be some issues with the map I want to go to. So that's going to be, I suppose, part of it is going to be to see if that's the case or not. Anyway, so go and get the other tractor. I've grabbed the seeder, topped it up. We're paying homage to Ukraine with the final planting. Because the soil types we've got, wheat will provide, with the two main soil types on field 6 and 7, 125% for one and around 100% for the other, fully ready to go, which is fantastic. I'm going to swap the tractors over, and I'm going to do wheat because the Ukraine flag is a blue band at the top with a yellow band at the bottom. Two colours split pretty much across the middle. The top represents the sky, the bottom represents wheat. So I thought, you know what, let's do that. Why not? Kind of cool. Let's see if I can lose this bit. So I've got wheat in both, and then like I say, what the farmers decide to do after that is entirely up to them. Let's whiz over and take this little beauty. I think that's really cool with the twins on as well. Got a nice little aggressive stance to it. Let's stop him dead in his tracks. Yeah, tyres. Oh, I didn't think he was going to stop then. Oh! Breaking off. Back you up a little bit. Still plenty of lime in that as well, which goes to show it's not putting a huge amount down, but it will maximise the yield, so why not? I know the small Universal pulls these fertiliser and lime spreaders no problem at all, and that's supposedly only got 45 horsepower, but I'm still convinced it has more. This is 125 horsepower, so this will not have a problem. Please don't have a problem and embarrass me. Excellent stuff. Let's hop in. Don't have a front weight on this, but that should be okay. Put that away. Yeah, no problem at all. Let us rock and roll. Turn it on. Drop it down. Let's do this. Again, when we get to a point, we can set a worker off. Probably do the same thing actually. We'll go across the top. Help FS complete the task? I don't think they have. I would be very surprised if they have. I might need to help out with that. Excellent. Which does mean the small Ursus, the 53 horsepower, that can stay over at the sheep farm now. I've been using that for, still using that small loading wagon, doing a little bit of collecting of grass. That has been cleaning the feed area out. I do need something over there with the front loader though to move the wall pallets, which I used the wheel loader to do before, but I suppose I can still use the wheel loader. Let's get that cracking. It's all go. It's one of those weird things I always used to say to the kids when I was teaching at school, and we were doing, when I worked with the year 6 kids a lot, and that was the kids that were doing their SATs exams at the end of the year, that like with anything, with any project, with any deadline, you start off with all this time, you know, it doesn't matter, you've got loads and loads of time, but you kind of treat it like a big cone that comes down to a point. That point is the deadline, that point is the day of your exam, that point, so you start off with all this time, and you know, but as you move forward, that time gets less and less and less and less, heading towards that point. That's what I always just try and say to the kids, that, you know, use your time wisely. It's difficult when you know, talking to 9 and 10 year olds, and don't get me wrong, I never agreed with SATs exams, and I thought it was ridiculous, pointless waste of time. that an entire year would be wasted prepping kids to do a set of tests which are arbitrary. I mean, yes, it gives results. Yes, it helps people to determine what schools are good and what schools aren't and that kind of thing. But it was a wasted year of education. You could have been doing all sorts of really cool stuff and filling these kids with amazing knowledge and skills and abilities and that want to learn, and it wasn't. It was wasted on exams. But anyway, so, and it's the same with this today. Now I'm thinking, oh, I'm plodding along quite happily, I'm doing this, doing that, and blah, blah, blah. Then it's like, right, I've got a deadline. I've got till midnight. And it's like, go! Get everything done, hurry up, you know. Time's running out. So, that will continue. Let's go and see what's going on with the liming. And I will see you in a little bit, probably over at the silage clamp. Now, I know we've taken a load of silage before. We did that when we did all the grass, when we mowed all that grass originally, and we put it into the bunker silo. So in essence, the silage is no different. It's still silage. We just got it from a different source. Obviously, we did the green silaging. So, but the silage itself is identical. And you've seen me move silage before, but you know, and I'm going to use the conveyor belt again because it's a great way of loading into the lorry. And I'll kind of bounce around backwards and forwards between these two fields, because once this is now seeded, it means I can come back over this. So I'm going to go and grab the universal tractor. Again, great, we've got all these extra tractors. Grab the universal tractor with the fertilizer spreader on the back, set that to auto application. We can get that running over here to get our nitrogen levels on. And the whole cycle rolls around. Absolutely awesome. Okay, tractor number 3, please. Let's get on with it. Bottom left hand corner, we have got it set on its nitrogen level. I guess that's what I'm putting down. I can never remember quite how far the spread width is on this. So what I'm going to do is hop out. Let's go to, not that, what am I doing? Field info on. pH value perfect, nitrogen perfect, come across to that. pH value is perfect because we've done it and the seed's now in the ground, but nitrogen is bad, so you can see straight away. Bump, bump, bump. And then this one. Yep. pH perfect, but nothing's in the ground yet, so it's not showing anything for nitrogen per se. But once the crop's in the ground, then it tells you how much it needs. So happy. Happy, happy, happy. That's all working absolutely as it should. Just worried about that overlapping. We might be alright. And look, I'm at a point. Look, I'm at a point. I can step back away now and go for it. They're just getting on with it. Awesome. Liming has moved over to field 7. Seeding's continuing. I then grabbed the larger tractor and took that down with the auger wagon with seed in it to refill the seeder. We are at the silage clamp. If you watched yesterday's episode, the last episode, we are going to open the silo. We've got 1,011,746 litres, which needs to be shifted. So let's turn on the belt. Let's back that in to about there. Let's raise that. We've actually got plenty of room to get the vehicle under. That's working. Yep. Let's get shifting, shall we? That's going to take a lot. 48,000 litres. We're going to be looking at over 20 runs. But it fills pretty quickly, so shouldn't be too bad. I think I'm going to go cross country. We'll go the shortest route possible. Actually, there's not a track. Oh yeah, there is, isn't there? Yeah. I have thoroughly enjoyed. I cannot say enough. Thoroughly enjoyed. Not just this map, which I love. I think this map's brilliant. I really, really like it. It's why I came here in the first place. But also, a massive thank you to Feldin for kind of joining the whole feel of it and making it a bit more immersive for me as well as anything else. But also to Peter. Peter, if you're out there, if you're still watching, you know, thank you so much. My RASSVET advisory service. Let's stop. Thank you so much for all your help and assistance when we got going. Similar sort of thing. It was, you know, just helping out with the stuff that I didn't know about, and I've enjoyed going through the mods hub looking for relevant stuff. You know, I've said that before. You kind of get into that habit of using the same equipment all the time because you like it, because it's useful, because, you know, it's just the stuff you like and you use. But then spending time looking for equipment specific that will work well on a map because it fits the map, it fits the time period, it fits the money you've got available, whatever. That's a big bit of the fun I've found, which I hadn't really done before. You know, I go off and I find mods and I'll use this, it's big, it's got good horsepower, it's a good price, slot count's great. And I try to tailor the machinery to the map I'm using, but this has been something completely different, and I've thoroughly enjoyed doing that. Not all of it's correct, I get that. I think that's the fertilising. It's not going to be the seed, or the seed has still plenty in it. There is a track that leads down to the middle of the field over there, which will take us out to the road, which takes us to the biogas plant, and this should be a simple unload. Like I say, if you've been watching right the way through, you saw me do this originally when we cut all of this grass. I'm just thinking back over what we're on, episode 20, but yeah, 20 episodes, which is a fair amount. Everything we got done in those 20 episodes, so we cleared all those trees, we did a load of logging, moved all that sand, did some construction, did a load of precision farming stuff, we cleared the yard, we built, yeah, you know, we've got some stuff done, which is what it's all about. So yeah, I'm not going to show you all 20 loads. I'll get this first load done. I might see in a little while when we're kind of halfway through. I'm just thinking it's quite a daunting task at 48,000 litres a time. This could be a little bit hairy getting across here, but this should bring me straight out onto the main road, and then it's a straight shot up to the biogas plant. So all good. I mean, one of the great things about the biogas plant here, I think with a lot of them as well now, is that you can kind of tip in front. I know when I say originally, a lot of them, it never kind of allowed for that. There wasn't really a trigger in front. You had to tip into the actual sort of container, and that would require belts or buckets or, you know, some kind of loading equipment, which could then increase your time even more by doing it. Whereas this, you can kind of tip in front, which really does help speed that process up. We should get the trigger come up. I say should, it worked before, yeah, there we go. So all is good. Turn that off. I only had that on actually to check what we had in the silage clamp, because I couldn't remember from last time. I know for you it's, you know, if you've watched these back to back, well, you only did the last episode, but it's been a few hours for me. Okay, let's crack on. I think, to be honest with you, what time is it? It does seem to process at a good speed here as well, the biogas plant. So getting it done before midnight, we should easily do it. Yeah, easily might not be the right word, but I may have some time to spare. It's 12:54. Time is moving a little bit more swiftly because we maxed out the input for the digesters. It's 150,000 litres it will take, which is absolutely fantastic. But we were backwards and forwards and we hit the max, and it was taking a really long time to digest. So, or I say digest, put in. So we are now at ×5. Field 6 and 7 are both done. That's the nitrogen, that's the pH, and they both have wheat in, which is growing. All the vehicles and machinery are back. We have tipped over the halfway point, so at nearly 1 o'clock in the afternoon we've gone past halfway. The last load took us past halfway, so we're sitting at 469,000 litres in here. So half has been taken, which means we should be all right. I reckon we're going to be looking at, so it's now 4 o'clock, maybe 4 p.m, that we can get all this delivered and it be digesting at a good enough rate. There's a few patches of that where it does that weird glitchy thing. This the SL8022 Quantum that comes with part of the root crop storage pack by Top Ace 888 is brilliant. I love it because it picks up from the ground. It's got a 12,000 litre, you can have a 6,000 or a 12,000 litre, 12,000 litre capacity. Flow rate's pretty good. For emptying bunker silos, silage clamps, that kind of thing, it's fantastic. You've seen it works well for the sand, it's worked well for this, you know. It's a very, very handy bit of kit. Are we full? We might well be. We are. We're at 48,000. So yeah, that's my prediction. At the moment, I reckon we're going to be looking at, because the time is sped up a little bit and we need that digester to digest. I mean, that's only for my sanity. I could leave it on ×1 and it just chug away and chug away. But I'm finding I then spend a lot of time sitting around. So I would drive over and sit and wait. And that was fine on the first few loads because I was still finishing off field 6 and 7. I was moving machinery and equipment back to the main yard. So that bit of time when it was waiting for digesting is not a problem. But it just makes more sense to speed up a little bit now, so we can get it all in and done. And like I said, that cone, that funnel of time is narrowing. We are racing towards our midnight departure. Well, it took me a little bit longer than I thought it was going to. An hour past what I thought it would be. I said about 4ish. 5:10, last bit going in. Just over 1 million litres, 1,011,700 and whatever it turned out to be in the end. And There's 122,600 litres of it, which is processing. I think I can probably put the time back to normal because I've got till midnight, and that'll easily process all of that before midnight, and we'll get paid. So yeah, the jobs I was set out to do are done. What I will do is take this back to the yard. I never did get a jet wash. I put in a tap and then never used it. The little garden hose mod one, and then didn't use it. So I'll take this back. We'll put this away. I say put it away. Yeah, actually we've got the other shelter, haven't we? And I'll grab the Land Rover. We'll get that back. I'll do some packing. The next time I will see you then will be probably at midnight. I'm going to wait till midnight when it ticks over and we find out how much we've earned. And I will be unceremoniously disappearing into the night. Like some kind of vagabond. I've decided as well what I'm going to do is half the money, whatever I've got, whatever we make at midnight, added to what we've got here now. I'm going to leave half of it here as a farm fund, again to help out with whatever anyone needs, and half of it I will take with me. Now, that's only going to work out at about, I think by the end of it all we'll have about 1.2 million, something like that, 1.1 something. So I'll have about 600,000. It seems like a lot, but it depends what sort of machinery and equipment I'm going to want to buy when I get to my new place. There may be some equipment and machinery there already. I don't know. I haven't really decided. We'll see how it kind of plays out. But yeah, it's been emotional. I will see you at midnight. Let's see what we make from all of that. Of course, there's all the digestate as well there, that somebody has now got access to, whatever they want to do with it. Oh yeah, that's something I was going to mention. Over the course of the day while we were out and about doing stuff, the soil sampler, the government soil sampler, and the Gator vanished. Just gone. Came back with a couple of tractors, gone. One of the government agencies had that away. Let's look at this one. I'm glad I built these extra shelters. I, for one, have learnt a lot. Like I said before, the whole precision farming thing. Yeah, all sorts of cool stuff we found out. I found out. You probably already knew, but you know. The little Ursus is still over at the sheep farm. That's not a bad lineup to believe in, though, is it? The little Universal 445D. The two new Ursuses, Ursi. And then I still don't know what to call that. The lizard thing. Two harvesters, all the gear. And no idea. Right. Land Rover. Where did I leave that? Oh, it's up where I got the Ursus from. See you at midnight. there we have it. 727,200. We're up to 1.85. I wasn't quite at 1,200,000, which is what I thought we were at. I shall, without any fuss, slip off into the night because, one, I still need to leave the country. I don't want to be detained. Two, I need to get back into my own country. So I really can't cause too much of a fuss. We have our trusty Land Rover. We have made money. At the end of the day, we left here better for it. We left the area better for it. And we've made some money. I will see you on the next one. Wherever that ends up being. I hope you've enjoyed it. This episode and the series. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do, as always. Thanks for watching.